Welcome to NFL Daily, where we're not retiring, at least not from Saints drama anytime soon. I'm Gregg Rosenthal, and I'm a sicko because there is nothing I would rather be doing on Mother's Day weekend than to be talking to my friends Adam and Ryan about the surprise retirement of Derek Carr. Yes, they are from the Saints Block Party podcast. Ryan, I will start with you. We'll get into all the nitty gritty, but just what was your first reaction as you woke up to find out Derek Carr was no longer a Saint?
Oh man, I was already up. We were on the Discord getting after it early in the morning, talking Saints, and then it just comes out of nowhere, bro. It's like it's jubilation, man. Like I don't care what I mean. Look, this is not celebrating any injury or anything like that, but we were done. Like we were done with the Derek Carr experience. We were hoping it was over, and to get that like retirement, that kind of clarity. Oh man, can't beat it, bro. It's like Mardi Gras, like you said, man.
Go ahead, Adam.
I had a drink at 10 a.m.
Stop.
He did. Live on the podcast.
I absolutely did. What are you talking about? Stop. It was great because just looking back on, we talked about it on our show, that Derek Carr D8 era of Saintsdom was as dark as it has been for the Saints for a very long period of time. And that Derek Carr signing, honestly, one of the worst signings, if not the worst signing for the Saints ever as a free agent. Not even on the field, kind of everything of what it just represented. And so to get that news that officially he's done, whether he comes back or not, we'll get into that, like try to play with the team after the seat. For the Saints, as a Saints fan, we don't have to deal with them anymore.
Okay. Let me back it up a second because I'm asking for your emotional reaction, but let's give some context to it. So the news comes out that he is retiring, and the team has a pretty lengthy statement, and they say that Carr had a labral tear and a degenerative rotator cuff damage to his right throwing shoulder. It was discovered in late March, according to the Saints, after Carr ramped up his throwing to prepare for the season, that he had an option for surgery, which would have jeopardized his whole season, yet there was no guarantee he would return to his previous level of strength. So the Saints, interestingly, provided a lot more details injury-wise than you would expect. Derek Carr did not so much. He just had a very straightforward statement, thanking everyone who'd supported him throughout his career and saying that he retired. We also learn financially that they will get all the money back, from this offseason's restructure because he's retiring. They don't have to pay him that $30 million that they were going to guarantee him. So he is choosing on some level, and we can get into it, to pass on that $30 million. In the end, though, it was reported by ESPN, by New Orleans Football, Nick Underhill, like a few different places, our guys at NFL Network, that the Saints did pay him his $10 million roster bonus this offseason, and they are not going to go after that. And they're not going to go after like the signing bonus that he originally signed because he's retiring. So in the end, he got $70 million over 2 years. They're actually going to announce the move officially after June 1st. So the two sides are kind of, it's you put it in a text, Adam, to me, like a somewhat amicable divorce here, where they're both getting a little out of it, and so they can spread that dead money over 2 years. Kellen Moore did speak on Saturday and said it only came together in the last couple of days. I want to get into the Carr of it all, like in depth, because that is really the interesting part of me. But I think for the average fan who aren't Saints fans, the Saints part of it is actually more interesting about the 26 Saints. So I actually want to start there, and then we'll back up to the Carr of it all. And now you look at the Saints, and they have a quarterback competition in theory. Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, and we'll see if they add a veteran to this group. Kellen Moore said he was open to it, and they'll look at it, but who knows? What does this make you think about the 26 Saints? Because I saw some people field Yates, others throwing out there like, now it makes time. The Saints are really going to do that reset that we've been talking about for years. I'm like, that is not the Saints' MO. That is not what the Saints are going to do. What do you think, Adam?
That's just not how Mickey Loomis operates. It's not how they do things. They are going Mickey Loomis wants to win the NFC South, whatever that means. So I think your tweet on Twitter encapsulated the Saints perfectly. Like, oh, there's cap space. Oh, we need weapons. Maybe there's a Keenan Allen out there. Maybe we'll try to go get weapons for whoever the quarterback is. Maybe we'll try to get more defensive help and try to win the South and just be competitive. And that's just what their MO is, because this team is just so much about job preservation and protecting their desks rather than actually trying to like compete for championships. That's what their MO is in their DNA, and I think that's what their mantra is going to be for the upcoming 2025 season.
But it's too late too. Cam Jordan's coming back, Ryan. Demario Davis is coming back. Honey Badger's coming back. Alvin Kamara just got a new contract. Like they brought in Brandon Cooks. I mean, they still got like 2013 Saints on this roster. Was he on the team in 2013? I don't know when he got drafted. I mean, Taysom Hill. I kind of forgot Taysom Hill is actually still on this roster. So they're not going to reset. They're not going to rebuild. What are you excited at least about the quarterback competition? Kind of how does it make you feel differently about this team, at least for this season?
I mean, that's the most exciting part about it is not just we don't have to deal with Carr, because we knew that if Carr was going to be available, he was going to start. You know, Mickey Loomis said it in the post-draft presser, like if Carr's available, he's going to start, which is crazy that a GM is saying that. But anyway,
instead of a coach, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the insane. But that's the exciting part, man. Like we finally get Spencer Rattler versus Tyler Shuck. Say however you want to feel about Tyler Shuck, Adam and Ryan. I mean, me and Adam. Shirley made our feelings.
I love you guys being big enough to go third person. Everyone should be signing up for their Patreon, by the way. Saints Block Party. Please. I mean, he was there on the Discord this morning before that even happened, apparently. Yes. So continue on, though, about the QB competition.
No, like Tyler Shuck, like, look, he was very divisive pick, like among Saints fans. You know, a lot of them didn't love it. A lot of them wanted Shedeur Sanders. And, you know, look, he's 26, going to be 26-year-old. It's not the sexiest quarterback pick, but look, he's there. Like, he's going to be your rookie. You know, then Spencer Rattler, another divisive figure, you know, who showed a little promise last year. I think if you looked at that certain way, going to be coming in with a healthy roster. A real competition. Now, will it be treated like a real competition with Tyler Shuck as a second-round quarterback versus a fifth-round quarterback from last year who wasn't there for the coaching staff that's currently there? I mean, we know how that goes.
No, yeah, it's not happening. I've actually been surprised to hear you guys over the last few weeks kind of talk about that, and I'm just thinking, I don't need to know any. You guys have sources in the building, and you know the dynamics better than me, but I don't need to know dynamics to know, like, that's Tyler Shuck's job as long as he's healthy. Because he's a second-round pick, and Kellen Moore took him. Now, if he gets hurt or he just is totally bombs out in training camp or something, and Rattler's looking good, like they'll be open-minded enough to maybe change their mind. But that's just how the NFL works. This is the one thing that Kellen Moore has done is handpicked Tyler Shuck. So
he did.
What a crazy come up that he might be, along with Cam Ward, the only week one starting quarterback. What does that make you? How does that make you feel, Adam?
I'm fine for it in theory, because the one thing about Tyler Shuck, if you just watch him, is the thing that he struggles the most with is pressure, which any quarterback struggles with, right? And so we discussed this on draft night. We're like, oh, you know, our team's drafted offensive linemen who may have to like shift into the interior if they don't work out, like woohoo. But at least you have like your franchise quarterback, right? Like Drake May's that dude. We'll see on Tyler Shuck. I think the thing that annoys both Ryan and I the most is like almost every team in the NFL in the draft, the Patriots, the Bears, the Texans, almost every team like flooded their young quarterback in the NFL with weapons. And you have the Saints who dealt with this last year with Chris Olave, with Rashid Shaheed, with Taysom Hill. Like when the weapons got hurt, like the offensive weapon, AK, they were throwing to like Jags. Like the team just had no one. And like their solution was like, oh, okay, well, we signed Brandon Cooks in the offseason. like that was it.
You brought back Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, who was also hurt last season. And so and so then you had Mickey Loomis like in the post game, like the postseason presser was just like, oh well, like fell back on the injury excuse, and it's like you just drafted a quarterback in the second round, and they went all defense. And I'm not saying that defense doesn't matter; it does, but it's a weird team construction of how to build a team.
It's really weird too, because in theory, yeah, it's a new regime. It's Kellen Moore, it's Brandon Staley on the defensive side. We'll see. This defense, it could be good. It might be terrible. It could be anywhere in between. I'm not really sure. Right. Considering the age of the team and Staley's history has been up and down, but he was better as a coordinator. Like, we'll see. Like this team could, in theory, be contending for a top 5 overall pick, and then Tyler Shoug's going to look like a second round bridge quarterback, which I'm not in love with him as a player. The evaluation, I think, was off. I think he got taken. Like, I think it was a bad pick. I don't think it's going to work out personally. I might be wrong. But the principle of taking the quarterback there, I don't hate it, because I'm someone who says keep trying until you get one.
Of course.
And if he winds up being a bridge to a top 5 or 6 quarterback, that's great. The issue is, though, like, it's not a reset because Mickey Loomis is there. He's the one talking about the quarterback competition. He's the one making all the decisions. And it could be something where all these guys get blown out the building after 1 year. Or you're not really rebuilding, and then you're picking the new quarterback and you just wasted a year. So that's all weird. And they're in this spot by mistake, because I know it was the best outcome, Adam, for them on May 10th. But this was not the best outcome coming into the offseason, because the best outcome would have been just cutting your ties with Derek Carr to begin with. But they wanted him to come back, and they're kind of getting bailed out a little bit by Derek Carr choosing to retire.
No. Don't say a little bit. Don't say a little bit. A lot of bit. A lot of bit.
Okay, but they also, I guess if they had just made the decision to move on from Carr, which would have been the decision I believe like 31 other teams would have made. If they had made that decision back in February, I don't know how their offseason would have been different, but you figure it would have been different. And so they're still kind of paying for that. But I guess after the fact that he's bailing them out.
I guess, okay, so the difference would have been, because this is what we've heard, is that they wouldn't have been able to sign a Justin Reed. They're not, like, their cap situation is different. So they're not able to be as active in free agency as they were able to be. So they don't get Justin Reed. Maybe they don't get Brandon Cooks. And so can we also just talk about, just frame it like this, that Mickey Loomis was guaranteeing Derek Carr $40 million, who had like a degenerative like shoulder injury? Are we glossing over the fact
but they say they don't know it. They say they didn't know it. Right? And I guess they didn't know it, because why would they give it to him if they knew it?
But isn't that in and of itself like NFL? That's not the problem, right? NFL team not knowing.
That's why I say he's getting bailed out. I mean, it was looking like they were going to have to pay $40 million to Derek Carr while he sits on IR this year. You know what I'm saying? Like that was probably going to be the outcome. And he gets bailed out. Mickey Loomis gets bailed out by the football guys or whatever.
And I get it. That was his money anyway. That was the contract and all that. But it's just like, it's a lot of malfeasance that went on that they get bailed out for ultimately.
Yeah. And they still, even though they're getting bailed out, they have $50 million in dead money after only getting 2 years of Derek Carr. So they paid Derek Carr $70 million, but now they have $50 million in dead money. And the bailout is that it's not 80. It would have been $80 million in dead money, and instead it's 50. And because they're playing ball with each other, they can spread that out over 2 years. And it's not that crazy. But it's like, at least, the Patriots, when they had to eat their Tom Brady dead money, or the Bucks when they had to eat their Tom Brady dead money, or the Saints when they had to eat their Drew Brees money, or the Packers when they had to eat their Aaron Rodgers money, or even the Falcons when they ate their Matt Ryan money. It's like, they got great production out of those guys. Yes. If they're supposed to be like some sort of trade-off, and they didn't get any of that trade-off.
14 and 13, Greg. 14 and 13 is what they got.
Okay. Well, that actually, bumped up his winning percentage as a pro quite a bit, because I don't want to talk about Derek Carr's career necessarily as if it's over, because I do wonder if he's going to come back. We'll get to that in a minute, but I actually did some stats because I was curious about it. And since you're talking winning percentage, he's 28th all time in NFL starts. That's a lot. That's like 28th. Among those quarterbacks, only one had a worse winning percentage for his team. And I'm not all about QB wins, but over that amount of starts, like you want to win more games than you lose. And he lost. I think he was 15 under 500. Vinny Testaverde had a worse. If you expand it out to include all the quarterbacks who had 150 starts all time, which he wasn't that far above that. Jim Everett, Chris Chandler, Norm Snead, Bob Ferguson also would have been below him. And he played that one postseason game with the Raiders where they came up short. So it's just kind of a bit of a star-crossed career where Derek Carr got the bag and now he's moving away. Let's kind of get into what happened here, Ryan, because like the thing that was strange about it was all this talk this offseason that he was maybe looking to take a deal elsewhere. So something's not quite adding up with the injuries and the idea that maybe he would play elsewhere, but he didn't want to play on the Saints. And now he's retiring. But a couple weeks ago, even the Saints were saying it was all happening. Like, give me something to make this make sense.
Something is still fishy about this whole thing because he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave back in early March. He was upset that the Saints restructured his deal and kept him signed. Then after that, he finds out he has the issue with his shoulder. And then it's like, everything's all good. I still want to be with you guys. No, something's missing there. Like some kind of part of the story is missing there.
Ultimately, the Saints sort of agreed to give him this $10 million now. What do you think went into that, Adam?
Just using the analogy from our group text, I think both sides wanted to walk away from the situation. Out of all three of us in this podcast, only one of us have been through a divorce. And sometimes in divorces, before things get really bad and really messy, sometimes cooler heads can prevail. And both sides can come to the table and say, listen, I'm willing to concede this point and we can walk away with us both kind of essentially getting what we want. And I think that $10 million was the Saints kind of conceding when saying, we'll give you this $10 million. We won't fight you on it. We'll give you this. Carr kind of gets what he wants and he doesn't play for the Saints because that's something that he wanted that I heard as soon as Dennis Allen got fired back in November of last year, 2024, his time with the Saints was done. Like to him and DA was a package deal, which is a very weird thing to tie your legacy to like one of the worst
Dennis Allen?
worst head coaches of all time, but whatever. And so he gets what he wants and he gets to kind of do his thing in Bakersfield and recover and heal. The Saints get to recoup the money back and kind of spread the money and his salary over the next two seasons. And if Derek Carr really potentially wants to come back and play football, then he has that option to try to maybe do that after next season as well. So both kind of sides in a very weird way, they kind of get what they want in a weird, like little marital settlement.
Except for Mickey, who for whatever reason just was dying to have Derek Carr be his quarterback.
Weird, Greg. So weird.
You reported that the organization was not all aligned on that. That was Mickey really who wanted Derek Carr.
It literally was everyone except Mickey.
That's so messy and it's so strange. And I actually, my first reaction to this was, giving Derek Carr some credit that look, he clearly doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play for the Saints, and to give all that guaranteed money back, like you just don't see that too often ultimately. And I kind of thought, look, he's probably in a situation where he knows like the upside of this situation is not that great. And it reminded me a little bit of that scene with Cuddy, if you guys remember from The Wire, when he retires.
It ain't in me no more.
the game is not in me no more. And I was just thinking, like, the game's probably not in Derek Carr some more. And you talk to ex-football players, it happens at some point. It's brutal and all this stuff. And I think it's just not in him so more. But then you do hear about these reports that he was trying to play elsewhere this offseason. And so then it seems it's a little more like the Saints. And it seems it's a little more like another guy who retired from the Saints and then was back collecting checks in the NFL pretty quickly, which was Sean Payton. Like, he just wanted to get away from the Saints too. So it's not like the greatest sign ever that your organization is having like a head coach and a starting quarterback just retire to kind of not work for you anymore in the matter of a couple years. Not a great sign, Ryan.
I think that might be like more of a Mickey Loomis problem.
Sure, but he is the organization.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like that's the thing where I think people are thinking, like, okay, now it's time to reset. It's like at some point that'll happen, but they haven't really changed, man.
And it's really sad too, because I mean, you had like a great 18, 19-year stretch of Drew Brees, Sean Payton. Mickey Loomis got to look like one of the better GMs in the league over that time, and now he's doing the Jerry Cross thing where he's just trying to prove that he's like the Saints are like the Steelers. But I'm like, even the Steelers don't want to be the Steelers right now. Like, even Steelers fans are annoyed with where they are right now. It's like at some point that you need some kind of fresh, innovative thinking and stuff like that. And it's just none of that is going on with the Saints. And I mean, we just keep hearing about how people don't want to work with Mickey Loomis. I mean, it just keeps popping up. And I mean, look, we don't even have to say it. Just look at what happened. Look at what's happening right now.
Yeah, but like, if Tyler Shuck goes out there, like week 2 of the preseason, he starts looking good. Some of the veterans, DeMario and Cam, are kind of looking like you guys will be fired up. Like, what do you kind of think about this? What do you think about this Saints team now? Do you think the 2026 team? Because I look at this division and I think that the Bucs are a legit good team now. It's actually a good roster coming back. It's not just this I don't think it's this wide open NFC South. I frankly would be surprised if the Bucs, I'll just start there, like had like a losing like I think they're a winning team. I think they got a chance to be upper tier contender. And the Falcons, we'll see how good Penix is, but on paper, like they're thinking they're going to compete. Obviously the Panthers are hoping they're going to be better. So even though, Adam, like the Saints are looking at this best case scenario where they're trying to get to 8-9 wins, like I don't think it's as easy as it would have been a year ago or even 2 years ago.
Man, we have talked about this ad nauseum. Until we see differently, and I don't want to speak for Ryan, but like we squint, but they look like a 4 to 5 win team right now. Like they just look like they may be picking top 5, and that's like a top, like they just like if you look at their schedule, like it's hard to find the wins. It's hard to find the wins. Now, I will
it's the
say
NFL and things turn around, and it might be the right year to do it. Not because of Arch Manning, who most people that seem to know anything about him say like he's not going to come out in the draft next year. He's going to stay in college. But it's a good quarterback class, anyways, where we'll see. But there could be a handful of options.
2 things I will say: if they have invested, there potentially are 4 first round picks that they're going to have on the offensive line. If that offensive line is not a weapon at this point, like it should be, that's one of the ways that they should potentially, if they're going to be a good team, that's a way that they should be a good team.
I hear you, and maybe they'll get coached up to do it, but one of those first rounders is Trevor Penning. One of them, Cesar Ruiz, who's been up and down. One of them has never played in the NFL, so like, you're excited about Kevin Banks, but you never played. And the other one missed most of last year with an injury. So I'm sorry, I'm being a downer. This team fascinates me, though. I love the mess. Is there a part of you, Ryan, that just loves the mess of it all?
Yeah. Oh man, like especially as like a content creator.
My God, this offseason been right for us.
You wake up on like a boring Saturday and it's just like boom, here goes some news, But there's always something with the Saints, man. Like, and look, the thing about the division, they all got better than me. Like the Falcons got better. They might actually have pass rush this year. Like you said, the Tampa Bay Bucks, they've just been consistently getting better every year. Even the Panthers, man. Like I think the Panthers, like I'm not saying they're going to win a crap load of games, but like it wouldn't shock me if they won like 8 games this year. You know what I'm saying? And So the Saints got an uphill battle, but I told Adam yesterday, like it would be cool if the Saints just had like a fun season, like 2017 Saints, where nobody's expecting anything, but then young rookies come in, play well, you win a couple games, and I'm not even worried about the wins, but it's just fun football. You know what I'm saying? Defense is feisty, Brandon Staley, Kelly Moore's cooking it up. Got a young running back and Devin Neal up sixth round. He's looking good. Tyler Shough is slinging that thing. Let's go. Or maybe it's Spencer Rattler. Either one, man. Like, just give me something fun to watch, please.
Say what the Panthers did in the second half of the season when Young started cooking last season, but like maybe extrapolate that for like some of next season for the Saints. That would be a win for the team.
Like if Shough played well enough to give them a tough decision next year in the draft, then that's a great outcome. I mean, I hate to say it, but I told y'all, when Derek Carr was signed, you're like, finally, we got a professional quarterback. That's all we wanted. And I was like, I don't know if he's better than Andy Dalton, now.
My man was right. My man was all over it, bro.
I apologize to Andy Dalton. I was wrong. I was wrong. I would have gladly taken Andy Dalton.
And I do feel for Carr because he is and was just good enough throughout his career to not be good enough and not quite get over the hump for the teams that really believed in him. And look, he got paid well and he put his body on the line and all that. So it's, it's
tough, man.
It's the trade-off of being an NFL player, but he was a little star-crossed with Raiders, and then at this point in his career with this Saints organization, that just like the one time it really all came together for him, he got hurt in that 2016 season when he was probably going to get some MVP votes, and he didn't get to start that playoff game, and he was cooking. And I always thought he was like a limited skill set guy because he wasn't great under pressure, but he was very athletic, could make all the throws, could run. And then the one other time it kind of came together for him that the offense was a really dangerous, if weird offense, because it was so station to station, was with John Gruden. And like that couldn't last for him either because Gruden blew it up. And that one playoff memory was him, throwing short of the end zone on that fourth down because they had a chance to beat the Bengals before the Bengals got all the way to the Super Bowl. So you do feel, because you don't want to see a career end like that. And yet, I just have a hunch. Maybe we're not done with Derek Carr. Maybe he'll be back.
A hunch, a small hunch.
Maybe he'll be like my colleague, his brother, David, and he'll end up as a backup on some great team and go win a Super Bowl in a couple of years, like David did for the Giants back in the day. So we don't know. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate my producer, too, Eric Roberts, making the time on Mother's Day weekend. I know this is not what he necessarily was expecting this weekend, but I appreciate y'all too for coming on board. And I'm telling everyone, Saints Block Party podcast, just listen. YouTube, you got the Patreon there, you got the Discord, but just check it out. I don't ask for too much, but subscribe to them on YouTube, and that's the way you can support NFL Daily, supporting them.
Appreciate shout out to all the mothers who are or just in general, just shout out to all the mothers whenever y'all listen to this. Appreciate y'all. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes. Happy birthday. Happy. Whose birthday is it? It's Austin James's birthday coming up. Eric's son in a couple weeks. I'm like, whose birthday is it? Happy Mother's Day. Oh man, when Derek Carr's retiring on a Saturday. What? It's a news dump retirement. Football's back.